So I was trying to think of a clever intro for this, but sod it. Werewolves. Here's another one for the book club. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson at Dave Musson on Instagram, and this is a place where normally I talk to you about Stephen King, but in this spin-off series I recommend great books to you. Yes, this is the book club where each episode I give you a book that I have loved and that I think you will like. And I'll give you the synopsis, I'll give you a bit about the author, I will give you my spoiler-free review, and I will try and align it to a Stephen King book because I am a Stephen King channel after all, and it hopefully helps give you that point of reference to help you decide if you're going to check this book out or not. Do check the links in the description to my range of Stephen King themed band shirts, to my own collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun, to my newsletter, all of those other things. But most of all, thank you for giving this video a try. And if you enjoy this, there's plenty more to explore in the book club as well. And if you're new here and you like Stephen King, well, there's loads of Stephen King content for you to explore on this channel as well, so do click around. So this time on the book club, we're dealing with another brand new release from an indie horror author, which means we have to adopt the 3 R's. Remember, when it comes to indie authors, not only do I want you to read them, I want you to review them, and I want you to rave about them on your social media channels. And this one is definitely worthy of all of those things. So let's just hope it's not a full moon out when you're reading this, because this is the Lediar Monster by Bethany Russo. Okay, so the Lediar Monster is a werewolf novella from Bethany Russo that came out earlier in October 2024. This is the synopsis. Unemployed and living back at home, Stephen isn't feeling his greatest. When his mum suggests applying for a job at the hotel in Lediar Park, it seems like a reasonable option, granting him some money and experience while he finds auditions for his dream acting role. He tries not to let the conspiracy theories about Lediar Park bother him. Surely there isn't a monster roaming the woodland. Ignoring his grandfather's comical mutterings of old werewolf folklore isn't too hard. It's a bit more difficult to avoid the comments about an event that shook the town, women murdered at the hotel back in the 80s though. To some, it was nothing more than a tragic slaughter of innocent women, but to others, it was the price paid for leaving the hotel after dark. With his colleagues playing tricks on him and his grandfather involved in the conspiracy theories, Stephen is about to learn the truth about Lediar Park, and it's gonna get messy. And to round off your background, here's a bit about the author who wrote this one. So Bethany Russo is an indie horror and fantasy author from the southwest of England. She lives with her partner, son, and their 2 cats. When not writing, you can usually find her spending time with her family or animals and getting outside for a long walk. One of her favourite ways to spend her spare time is reading. Russo's favourite genres are horror and dark fantasy. She has a special love for all things weird and wonderful, especially if it includes folklore or myths. So there's your background. Let's jump into my spoiler-free review of the Lediar Monster. First of all, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing Lediar correctly. That's what I'm going with. Bethany, if you're watching and I've got it wrong, apologies. So I actually first discovered Bethany's writing earlier this year when I read her short story collection. It was like a collection of sort of longish short stories, short novellas. Really enjoyed that, so I jumped at the chance to get a review copy of this new one from her, and there was loads in this that I really got a lot from. Right from the opening, which was terrific, I knew I was in on this book. It was violent, it was gory, and it was unrelenting. I just especially loved all the disgusting detail of it all the blood, all the limbs, all the pain, there was no holding back. And right from the start, you knew you were in for something very different from the stuff I'd previously read by Bethany. Oh, and even the music in that opening sequence is just haunting and disgusting and brutal. So that intensity from the opening, that continued throughout this book's most heart-pounding moments, of which there are plenty. This one is absolutely not for any readers with a sensitive stomach. Oh no. But then again, if you're here, you guys probably read horror, so I'm guessing most of you are actually okay with sharp teeth, with limbs being separated from their rightful owners, with talon-like claws digging and ripping and tearing into people's backs and scraping and opening their spine, all of that kind of stuff. You're fine with that, right? I mean, good, because you'll need it for this book. As it happens, for all of the gore and the guts, there is actually plenty of heart in this one, which kind of took me by surprise, particularly based on the opening. Our lead character, Stephen, is definitely someone you can empathise with, while the description of his best friend is one of the best descriptions of an utter dickhead that I have read in a long time. Just worked. All that being said, I did feel like I would have liked to have seen the characters fleshed out a little more, and not just so that flesh could then be ripped off and eaten by the werewolf later on. I just wanted to get to know them a little better, and some of the backstory that we got towards the end of the novella, I liked it, it worked, but it all felt a bit stuffed in the last minute, and I think it possibly would have been a bit more effective had some of it been peppered throughout the story, because like I say, it was all a bit hectic towards the end, and not so much in a sort of frantic race for the finish line way, just a bit like, let's put all the ideas in. They all worked. I have no issues with them at all. I just would have liked it seeded throughout the story a bit more to just kind of get your grey matter moving and get you thinking a little bit. But please, I do not want to take anything away from what was frankly an absolute romp of a story that is great for reading at this time of year when the nights are drawing in and the moon is high and full. Oh! Okay, so when it comes to aligning this to a Stephen King book, I'll give you a guess, shall I? So we've got werewolves, we've got full moons, we've got people being ripped to shreds, we've got werewolves. I mean, obviously, it's the Green Mile. Just kidding. It's Cycle of the Werewolf, but you didn't need me to tell you that, did you? No. So to sum up, this was a breezy and bloody read. And to see this kind of pulpy comic book horror and put it next to the unnerving psychological horror that she showed us in her collection earlier this year, I'm just fascinated to see what Bethany does next, because she has shown with her output this year that she is a very talented writer and knows how to scare you in many different ways. So I'm excited for more from this author, and I hope you find something in her work as well that obviously once you've read it you can review it and rave about it. So this one is out right now, came out on the 13th of October 2024, and huge thanks to both Bethany and Indivisible for giving me an advanced review copy so I could check it out early. So that's it for another episode of the Book Club. Do let me know if the Lediar Monster sounds like something you're going to be checking out. Are you into werewolf stories? Do you want something new? Do you want a fresh twist on an old trope? Give this one a try. And if you do read it, make sure you review it and you rave about it. And check out Bethany's collection from earlier this year as well. Also very good. And if you do go and check out the Lediar Monster, come back here, let me know how you get on. It's always good to know if these recommendations are resonating with anyone. While you're doing various other things, check out the links in the description to my own collection of short stories. One's more on the sun. No werewolves there, but plenty of horror things for you. Sign up to my newsletter. Pick up a Stephen King themed band shirt from my range. And hey, subscribe to this channel if you like. You know, if you've watched this far, maybe you'll enjoy sticking around. There's more book club. There's loads of Stephen King stuff as well. But most of all, thank you for checking this video out. Share it with a friend. Go read the books. Take care. Watch out for the full moons. And I will see you very soon.